Frank's coming to you again with Foundation of Civilization. And today I wanted to cover something that I actually find fairly amazing as new changes in the world that are coming. And this one, I have to say I didn't see coming, but the implications are pretty fascinating for me. This past week, Canadians went to the polls and they voted for the Liberal Party. But the Liberal Party did not gain a majority. It's interesting how this election worked out. Many people were growing weary of authoritarian measures that were being implemented by Ottawa. It seemed that certain that Liberals would lose some seats and Conservatives would win some seats, and the Prime Minister's position. The former Prime Minister he pulled a sharp maneuver, and he resigned just months before the election, which allowed the new leader of Canada and the Liberal Party to maintain a distance with the unpopular policies that they had been implementing. Then Canadians they did something unthinkable. They allowed a personality to override their principles. The number one concern, apparently the number one concern for Canadians, was the U.S. president. Now, he is a divisive figure, to be sure. He had made threatening overtures towards Canada, but this was a really stupid decision. You don't base your election on the hatred of someone, but on policies. Canada will pay a price for this. One of the prices that it will pay appears that they're going to lose a province. Alberta is already irritated with policies of the capital in Ottawa, and the premier in Alberta has she sent a congratulatory tweet to the new ruling party in Canada, but her tone in the tweet challenges the Canadian government. It's actually, I don't know. She is at odds with Ottawa and their stranglehold on Albertans. Alberta is a net contributor to Canada's federal government, and losing Alberta will be a very serious blow to the government. The target of her tweets is the new prime minister, and he is a climate change extremist. I'm sure he and his followers will ignore the recent blackout in Spain and push more legislation to cut energy production using coal, oil, or gas. He is looking to eliminate the economy's dependency on fossil fuels. During the election, he claimed he wanted to make Canada an energy superpower. Near the end of the election, he qualified his position as making Canada a renewable energy superpower. There is no way to make that happen. The science is just not there. It is impossible to make enough energy through renewable sources to export it. Some leaders in Canada are irritated by Alberta's threats. They complain that to appease Alberta, the federal government expanded the Trans Mountain Pipeline to the tune of $34.2 billion. What they skip over in this building project is that Kinder Morgan, the company that initially wanted to build the pipeline, was willing to do it for free. No taxpayer money was needed at all. Instead, the Canadian government officials put onerous burdens, environmental requirements, and a number of other regulations that ended up causing the company to pull out of the project. Then the government bought it for $4.7 billion and took it over and mismanaged it, driving up the cost to $34 billion, $34.2 billion. Anytime a central government is involved, it is going to be mismanaged. Milton Friedman said that if Congress was put in charge of the Sahara Desert, it would run out of sand. I have to believe him. And he was talking about the U.S. Congress, but it seems to be a universal principle. Alberta is ready to secede from Canada. The Alberta's premier, her tweet hints at this. And as I was considering this, I was worried it might take a huge legal and possibly a violent fight. Apparently, it will not. It should be very easy. Keith Wilson is a Canadian constitutional lawyer. And he noted in an interview with Juno News on April 30th that the groundwork has already been laid. When Quebec threatened to leave Canada, reforms were made to make it easy for a province to depart Canada. All it will take is a referendum from Alberta. And anyone who begins what is called a sovereignty referendum now has 120 days and only requires 10% of the number of people who voted in the last election to sign the petition to get on a ballot. It used to require 20% of eligible voters, and you only had 90 days to gather the signatures. According to Canada's Federal Clarity Act, all parties will be required to participate. This includes, obviously, Alberta, the federal government, the Canadian government, and the First Nations, the indigenous population of the province. All of them will have to enter into negotiations about how to proceed. None of them are allowed to sit out. They will have to decide what is going to happen to current federal lands, the national forest, military bases, and the First Nations reservations. Now, I talk about changes in the world. This would be a huge change in the world. The next question is, what would happen after Alberta secedes from Canada? I'm sure it would take at least a couple of years before this will unfold. Would they apply to become a state with the United States? Well, we don't have enough information about that, at least not yet. I'm sure that there will be a huge discussion, but the fact that Alberta is even thinking about leaving Canada is a huge move. Please, ladies and gentlemen, I initially wanted to do this video right after the election and warn Canadians how foolish it was to make the decisions based on anger and hatred. But then I ran across some more information. Fortuitously, I ran across more information just this morning, and it has actually opened up this topic. So I'm going to go out on a limb and make a prediction and say that Alberta secedes probably within the next 5 years, maybe within 2. I don't know if it goes as far as Alberta joining the United States. They may go independent for a while, or maybe they will. Maybe at the same time that they secede, they'll say, "Hey, what are you guys doing? Can we find room for on the United States flag for another star?" We'll see. Now, the other thing that I'm going to expand this to is Alberta has taken the lead on this, but what about the other nations, or the other provinces? I'm pretty certain that British Columbia, and I'm very certain that Ontario will not secede, but Quebec. Funny thing is, Quebec probably will not secede. They may very well decide to, well, I should say, I can't imagine that they're going to secede, but they may do something like they may break away and then end up going and having an alliance with France. Although I'm not sure the French are really going to claim them. We live in very interesting times, and we will see what happens, especially with the other provinces, Saskatchewan and Manitoba. Well, right now we're just worried about Alberta. We'll see what is really on their minds, and we'll find out in the near future. Thanks again very much for watching this. Please like, share, and subscribe. I absolutely love it, and much love to you guys. I hope that that you're doing well and that you guys are paying attention to the changes that are unfolding right now. Thanks again, and I look forward to talking to you again very soon.